What's going on, guys? Seth here from Team Union Seth, back as your coach of the Philadelphia Fearows for our Week 2 matchup in the FPCL for the team builder here against the Minnesota Marshadows. So, we are 0-1. The Marshadows are also 0-1. So both of us looking to get our first win here. My team, as you guys know, we have the Tapu Bulu, Xurkitree, Zygarde 10%, Crobat, Jellicent, Torkoal, Uxie, Celesteela, Nihilego, Hitmonlee, Alolan Raichu, and Mega Absol. While our opponent has a pretty scary team in the Excadrill, Milotic with Z-moves, or Milotic, sorry, with the allowing his team to use Water Z-moves, Darmanitan, Snorlax, Araquanid, Zebstrika, Tapu Fini, Kyurem Black, Bidoof, Lucario, Spiritomb, and Mega Sharpedo. Just for our team, we have our Alolan Raichu is our Z mascot, so we can use Psychic and Electric type Z moves. So looking at his team, he has Excadrill, but he doesn't have Sand to go along with it, so that's a little less scary. And he also has the Lucario, so he has dual Steel types, so I don't expect him to bring both of them. I expect him to bring one or the other. Just considering my team, I think Excadrill is the more likely one. But honestly, I don't really see him bringing either, if anything. I don't really think either of them have a very good matchup against my team. Steel is nice for the Tapu Bulu, but that's really it. I mean, Nihilego, yeah, sure. Lucario Bullet Punch, but he has other things that can handle that. Milotic's pretty scary. It can handle Zydog pretty well. Does well against things like Crobat and Torkoal, and even Uxie or Celesteela and Nihilego. So it can handle some things pretty well. Darmanitan can be pretty scary for my team. It does a lot of work against a lot of things, like the Bulu. Uxie, it can U-turn on. It can U-turn and really get the initiative for my opponent. It hits Celesteela really hard. It hits everything really hard. So Snorlax can also be a little scary, but I'm not too worried about it. I do have that Jellicent sitting right there, as well as a Celesteela. So I don't really know if he's gonna bring that. Araquanid could definitely come. It's definitely an option. Obviously, I have Xurkitree and Alolan Raichu, but Araquanid has really good special defense, and I don't really have anything too great to hit it on the physical side. I mean, I have Bulu, but that's still a neutral hit, so I could definitely see the Araquanid coming. Zebstrika, I do very much think is going to come. His electric type moves are going to be really nice against my team, considering my only electric immunity is the Zygarde 10%, and he can easily run HP Ice for that. So I definitely think Zebstrika is going to come. Fini, I also think is going to come. I think he's going to want to cancel out my my terrain from the Bulu. Excuse me, as well as it gives him a pretty reliable mon to help handle Zygarde. Excuse me, jeez. Let's see, the Kyurem Black. Kyurem Black is always scary. It seems like I've faced Kyurem Black every week for every league I'm in this, like in the last couple weeks. It's ridiculous. But anyway, Kyurem Black's always scary, and it does have, a good matchup against my team. I don't really have any one counter to it, so it is pretty scary. Bidoof, he drafted that to get more points. I don't know. I already talked about Lucario. Spiritomb. Spiritomb can be a little bit scary if not accounted for, but I'm not really too concerned about it. And then the Mega Sharpedo can definitely be pretty scary as well, getting some speed boosts up. So let's get right into my team. Starting off with our Tapu Bulu, we have the Choice Scarf with Grassy Surge and Woodhammer, Superpower, Rock Slide, and Horn Leech. We have 128 in HP, 252 in attack, and 104 in speed. Woodhammer is an absolute nuke. Woodhammer destroys his team. It's ridiculous. We also have Horn Leech on there, just for another form of stab, and it also just helps get some recovery if necessary, along with the grassy terrain. Superpower is on there to hit things like Excadrill and Snorlax, as well as the Kyurem and the Lucario, and even Sharpedo potentially. And then Rock Slide is mainly there for the Darmanitan and the Araquanid. But this thing outspeeds all of his base 95s with the Scarf, so it allows us to outspeed things like Kyurem and Darmanitan with the Scarf. That also allows us to outspeed Lucario, so that's really, really nice. The HP investment allows us to live a max attack Adamant Iron Head from the Excadrill, just in case it comes Scarfed. So if it's Scarfed and outspeeds us, we live a max attack Adamant Iron Head from that, and we can fire back a Horn Leech or a Superpower or a Woodhammer and really do a ton of damage to that thing. So this thing can come in late game and pick up some kills. It can put a lot of pressure on early game or even mid game. It's just really, really nice against his team. So next up we have our Jellicent with Leftovers and Water Absorb this week, rocking Substitute, Recover, Scald, and Energy Ball. Now this set's really cool. We have 248 in HP, 72 in defense, 16 in special defense, 172 in speed with the calm nature. So let's start off with the speed investment. We outspeed an uninvested Milotic, and we have Substitute to help prevent Toxic from that Milotic. So it's very, very specific. We outspeed a Milotic, and we don't get Toxic by it. So if we outspeed, we get our Substitute up, it goes for Toxic, it doesn't work, and then we can start to fire off some Energy Balls. Energy Ball is also there for the Feeny. So this is our main check for Milotic and for the Tapu Fini, as well as it's really, really nice, and it's our main check for the Darmanitan. Moonblast from uninvested Feeny does not break our sub. So that's what the special defense investment is there for. So a Moonblast from a defensive Feeny will not break our substitutes, and we can recover. We can Energy Ball. We can get it up, get up another sub after it breaks with the second Moonblast. So this thing is very specific for his team, very specific for a couple of matchups, but I think it's going to serve us really, really well in this battle. Next we have our Celesteela rocking the Wakon Berry with Beast Boost, Autotomize, Earthquake, Heavy Slam, and Seed Bomb. 16 HP, 252 attack, 4 in defense, and 236 in speed with the Jolly Nature. I really wanted to run offensive Celesteela, and I just decided this week it had a pretty decent matchup, especially once it gets some attack boost. So we outspeed Scarf base 95s after we get our Autotomize. So like Scarf Darmanitan, we outspeed once we get our Autotomize boost. With the Wakon Berry, it allows us to live a Fusion Bolt from a Kyurem and 2-hit KO it with Heavy Slam. So I believe we live a Life Orb, Max Attack, Fusion Bolt, and we can 2-hit KO it with Heavy Slam. So if we have our Autotomize boost up, we can hit it with the Heavy Slam, take the Fusion Bolt, hit it with another Heavy Slam, and that is that. So that's really, really nice. And once I get up a Beast Boost or even 2, this thing really does work against his team. It kind of needs the Beast Boost to put in work. I mean, its attack, we only hit 301, which isn't great. So, but if I can weaken something and knock it out with Celesteela and get that attack boost, that's going to be really, really nice for our team. And just for sweeping in general. So next up we have our Uxie with the Leftovers and Levitate, Stealth Rock, Thunder Wave, Dazzling Gleam, and U-Turn, 248 in HP, 8 in special attack, 252 special defense with the Calm Nature. This thing is very simple, very basic. This is our main check for the Kyurem. Main check for Kyurem Black. We need to get up rocks against his team. He has a lot of things that rocks are really nice against, like the Darmanitan, like the Araquanid, the Kyurem. And it helps chip down things like the Milotic and the Snorlax and the Zebstrika and even the Feeny. It helps us chip down those threats. We almost always live 2 Fusion Bolts from a Max Attack Adamant Life Orb Kyurem. So if he's completely physical, Max Attack Adamant Life Orb, we pretty much always live 2 Fusion Bolts. I'm pretty sure it's like a 2% chance to 2-hit KO. It's really, really close. And we are also not 2-hit KO'd by a modest Max Special Attack Life Orb Ice Beam from the Kyurem. So if it's fully physical, or fully special, we're basically not always 2-hit KO'd from that Kyurem with its most powerful attacks, barring Freeze Shock. I don't really see him bringing Freeze Shock though. And we break Kyurem's sub with our Dazzling Gleam in case he's not invested. So if he's not HP invested or not fully HP invested, we break the subs pretty much all the time. So I think if he is fully HP invested, we do like 22 to 26 with Dazzling Gleam. So that can be a little bit dangerous if he's max HP. But if he's not, we are going to be breaking those subs. Thunder Wave is there mainly just to get some paralysis off on some things once that Misty Terrain is gone. We can paralyze things like the Darmanitan, even the Milotic. It's nice for the Feeny if its terrain is not there, Lucario, Kyurem Black, and it'd be really nice for the Sharpedo if we can get that on a switch-in. So that is our Uxie set. Up next we have a Alolan Raichu with the Life Orb and Surge Surfer, rocking Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Surf, and Thunder Wave. 8 in HP, 252 special attack, 248 in speed with the Modest Nature. This allows us to outspeed all of his base 95s. So we hit that 318, which beats the 317, which Darmanitan and Kyurem Black hit. Excuse me, we have a chance to 2-hit KO the Excadrill with Surf. It's a pretty good chance to 2-hit KO that Excadrill with the Surf. If we can get some prior damage, that would be really, really nice. And then Thunder Wave, originally I had Electric Terrain on this thing, but Surf and Electric Terrain are not compatible in the same set. So I decided to throw Thunder Wave on there as well because it'd be really nice to slow down some of his main threats so that maybe Celesteela doesn't have to set up an Autotomize, or, Bulu can come in and... excuse me. So, like, the Darmanitan is Scarfed. We can Thunder Wave that thing, and Bulu outspeeds it. Just thinking in terms of those. And last but not least, we have Zygarde 10% with the Choice Band and Aura Break, with Earthquake, Outrage, Extreme Speed, and Superpower, 48 in HP, 252 in attack, 208 in speed with the Adamant Nature. Again, we outspeed his base 95s. I could have gone and tried to outspeed Mega Sharpedo, but it's most likely just going to get it protect and get its speed boost up, so I didn't really see the point. And his next fastest thing is the Darmanitan and the Kieran Black. Zebstrika outspeeds us by 1 base point, which sucks, but it's whatever. So we do outspeed his base 95s. It's a great breaker against his team. It can do a lot of damage to a lot of things. His whole team is grounded, so that's why we're running Earthquake instead of 1000 Arrows. There's really no need to run 1000 Arrows this week. Outrage is nice just for a lot of power. Extreme Speed is good for priority. Superpower for the Snorlax. This thing can do a lot of damage to a lot of things. I don't really see it having much sweeping potential just because he doesn't have a ton of common weaknesses. I mean, Earthquake can sweep at the end. He has things like the Excadrill, Darmanitan, Zebstrika, and Lucario that are all weak to ground. But again, I don't think he's going to bring some of those, so I don't think it will be completely necessary. So this thing could just do a lot of damage and start to break down his team to help out Celesteal and Bulu in the end game. So that is our team for this week. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If there's anything you thought I should have brought or shouldn't have brought, whatever you guys think. Other than that, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.